Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, the Unseen Update Edition. And last time we were checking out the update for the first time, focusing primarily on the torches, because those got reworked a bit. Primarily the pacing of the attacks. And I will admit, I was maybe not the biggest fan of that, or at least it took some getting used to, and after having not played for a few months, despite what the upload schedule may have looked like, maybe that and a little bit of rust combined and led to a series of mistakes, and those added up, and we did not ultimately end up making it through to the end. So as for this time around, there are, of course, additional new things for us to check out. I think one of the big things is there are new secret aspects on each of the weapons. We learned about one of those last time round, but we did not yet have the resources to unlock it. So can't do any of that just yet. However, there is also this new difficulty modifier, this Vow of Rivals. The Guardian of the first X regions shall be stronger in various ways. So I think the more you rank this up, the more bosses it affects, the more difficulty modifier it counts for, of course. And basically it's a newly modified and theoretically more difficult version of however many bosses are affected on that floor. So I'm intrigued. I think these might be pretty significant changes that they've made on that front. So I'm curious. And why don't we activate that? And then, I mean, in terms of which weapon we go for, we just did the torches. That's the thing that's perhaps changed the most dramatically with this update. I know the axe is the bonus weapon right now, although, as I've said before, I tend to prefer the quicker weapons, and the axe is definitely not one of those, even if we had experimented a bit with some of the new aspects recently, and some of those maybe were a little more my style than the base version, but I do think maybe the blades make the most sense for me. And then, let's see, that means we're going for Scylla. Technically, we only need one fear, we're using two. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure that's a huge deal. Would mean that, in theory, Hecate would be the only boss affected by that modifier, and then once we're done with Hecate, then we're done with everything that's affected by those modifiers, which would be kind of nice. And we can go Gold Purse. I think that's okay. I mean, there were times when we made a point of taking defensive talismans early, and it feels like that was nice to have that sort of defensive backbone, a little bit of wiggle room, margin for error that maybe we don't have quite as much of if we're going the extra gold route. So, alright, let's give it a shot here. Oh, I suppose we'd take a quick double check at our Arcana. Though I don't really think we had changed anything dramatically here. It's just we'd been doing those Chaos Trials for a while, and we didn't have to worry about our Arcana at all for that, because the game chooses your Arcana, and then we just went straight in to our first full run in a while last time, and didn't double check what we had active, so worth at least paying a little bit of attention to that now. While you have less than 100% magic, attack and special deal bonus damage. Okay, yeah, I do remember that. Yes, momentarily make you impervious and move 70%. I do not remember us taking this. Is there a reason why we have to do this for our 1 point Arcana? Because otherwise, I do like our charge moves being faster. That's a pretty big deal. Sprint is faster, lets you pass through most foes in your way. That's also useful. I feel like, given the choice, this would not be my preference here. What if we deactivate that? And then, are these even fully upgraded? They might not be. But that one, oh no, they are. Okay, they are. Thought the color was different. Oops. Than the one that we had here. Okay, so between you and you, let's go with the charge moves. I mean, that was one other thing in the previous run. We weren't really able to get our build going the way we wanted it to, and that, I don't remember exactly what it was, but the aspect, we never really got the chance to build around that. Do really like the aspect of Linui on the blades, and that is highly leveled, whereas these ones are not. So I know this is probably the variety we've used the most, but it is probably the best in this situation. So let's hop in. The big question mark here is what is going to be the deal with Hecate? Because theoretically, she's going to be quite a bit stronger, or at least quite a bit different from what we're used to seeing. I do like Demeter, especially with this weapon.
For this evening calls for a sharp decline in temperature. Though you are well accustomed to the cold by now, aren't you?
Suppose you could say that. Let's see. So yeah, usually what I like from Hecate, or rather from Demeter, especially with this weapon, is either a cast or a special that freezes. Love for this to be higher rarity, but it's mostly the freeze, and the damage is not really the primary reason for us doing it. Sprint forms a gust. Restore magic. Let's go with the special for now. So it makes it easier for us to do things like that. Oh, wow. Okay, this should be automatic with Tula, alright?
No escape.
Okay.
You did it, Tula.
Very nice. Just the 1-star version of the fish, though, so theoretically not that rewarding. So this is the nice part. Now, that's actually makes things a lot safer. Theoretically, that is if I can hit you before you start doing your attack. The damage is actually not bad, even with just the basic version. Does that count? Hold on. Because this makes our attacks and specials deal more damage when striking foes from behind. The special, it kind of darts forward and then darts back. Does it count as backstabbing them in that case? On even just a relatively standard hit? Because if so, that might explain why. That was dealing a lot more damage than I expected. Now, the only thing we could upgrade would be that special. I was not expecting it to be that good. So a little bit pleasantly surprised. Maybe it is worth upgrading it here, but otherwise I would say usually we'd go with the attack. And we'd try to get that higher rarity, higher level, all that stuff. Might still go with the monies here. That one was obviously backstab. It does say backstab when it activates. Yeah, it is activating the backstab. At least if we're facing the correct direction when we do it. So that's... Ooh, excuse me. That was close. Okay. I did not realize that. So that actually makes it very easy to get some pretty serious damage on the special with this aspect. It's an 80% damage bonus? Okay, I mean, had I realized that, might have put a little more emphasis on getting a higher rarity special. A little hard to change that now. Ooh, I got a little bit greedy and wanted to place that because it seemed like we were going to get surrounded very quickly. I did not have that luxury. Maybe should have just kept things simple. No, this technically gives us a shield, doesn't it? So I guess I could have gone there. We will get a little bit of healing in between rooms, so we won't heal off all that damage, but we'll heal off some. And we are not very high on nectars right now. We might have one, possibly two. So it wouldn't be the worst thing to pick one up. It's not usually something that I find myself going out of the way to do. So, almost nice in a way that the game is forcing our hand here. Oh, hello.
Just watch your aim.
Now we are getting something that's a little more along the lines of what I would voluntarily take, because we should get a boon of some variety from Artemis at this rate. So that is nice. A little bit of the best of both worlds. Nectar's a nice to have, though maybe not so much a need to have, at least not on this run. Whereas the 2-for-1 was a clean kill. Have this.
Appreciate the backup.
The boon here could further emphasize our damage here. Now, I was expecting we'd go attack, specifically charged attack, because that is a good way to reliably get the backstab. So that, if it's high enough rarity, would likely be better long-term, but we'll see.
Why has Olympus sent you all the way out here anyway? I thought you'd have gone back by now. You're always welcome in the Crossroads.
Appreciate it, sister.
We did see her in Crossroads recently.
Enough. As for why I'm all the way out here, mostly to spy on you. Olympus likes to be informed.
Alright, at least she's honest.
I'm certain that they do. Do you ever slip up with them? By now, the other gods must have their suspicions about you and Hermes.
Oh?
Depends on who you're talking about, I guess. But for the most part, they just think we're young and flighty. But we're the best they've got.
It's a little
Here's
secretive.
what I have.
See, piercing arrow fires toward any enemy damaged by your charged cast. Not really something we're using right now. Random foe becomes marked. If it takes critical, this repeats. Mark lasts for 20 seconds. Gives them a plus 30% chance of getting hit by a critical. Wait. Here it says the mark lasts for... On the right it says the mark lasts for 6 seconds. On the left, below the name of the boon, it says time between marks, 20 seconds. Does that basically mean the mark is on an individual enemy for 6 seconds, then theoretically you have 14 seconds of downtime, and then it changes to someone else, that is, unless you destroy the enemy that has the mark? Or, no, if you hit them with a crit, then it repeats. I don't know. Point being is that there's some downtime in between marks, which I may not have really realized before, or at least didn't see the math behind that. Foes with at least 80% health or 80% armor have just a flat 22% chance to get crit. So that one can affect any enemy, whereas this one only ever activates on one enemy at a time. It is probably still a little better, because if you're thinking about things like boss fights,
Watch your step.
probably go to Arachne here. That is a mini-boss. But it is for Demeter, who I do like, although in many ways we kind of already got the key thing on Demeter we'd be looking for. On Arachne, what? We're expecting armor, maybe a little bit of resources. We haven't seen her since the update, so one might imagine she could have new things. We did actually see that it was Medea, who's kind of like the surface equivalent of Arachne, gave us the keys for understanding how to unlock one of the hidden aspects. So maybe for that reason we go to Arachne, even if otherwise, for this run alone, Demeter probably would be more rewarding. Of course, that's purely speculation. I have no idea if that's actually going to be the case.
You've grown so tired flying to and fro. Wrap you up
These do sometimes have enemies in them, which is why I'm spamming the attack button once I poke them.
and leave vomiting.
Actually, I don't know if they do in this room. They might not. Ooh. I think we had 1 or 2 recipes. It actually needed a little bit more of that. Oh, and it gave us a free fire boon. Okay.
You know the gods did this to me, don't you? Although I shouldn't say
Ooh,
the
she looks a little different.
gods. Was truly just the one. But the others, they didn't care. They were complicit in the whole thing. It was as though I was a spider to them all along.
Yeah, I do not know her history. I think she had mentioned something along these lines before, but I don't know who it was who turned her into a spider.
Arachne. The gods could be kinder to mortals. You'll hear no argument from me on that. I have a certain point of view on it myself. Most mortals I've met, they've all been dead.
I mean, true.
Yet you abide Olympus anyhow. I understand, I do. They're family. And that's one thing we can never change. Not really. Although the Titan whom you're up against, isn't he family too?
I mean, technically, yeah. He is basically our granddad. Okay, let's see. So this is often what we take. I think it has the highest potential armor rating, and it does give us Fate Fabric, which is a nice little bonus. Otherwise... And, you know, these other bonuses only last while the armor is up. So, like, channeling 40% faster is nice, but how long are we actually going to have that? Likewise here. Both channeling oriented, either directly or indirectly, but we don't have anything yet that works with that.
You enjoy, all right?
Long term, that would be nice. Oh, okay. So you did not give us... You did not give us the secrets for one of the aspects, which, as I said, was kind of what I was hoping we would find here. Here is, however, the room that I was saying I would have liked to have taken last time, so I think we probably do take that. I'm assuming this can't be the penultimate room, so we should still see at least one more shop on this floor before we're through.
Do be careful out
Okay,
there.
which one of these bosses is it? Is you. that is unfortunate that... oh, that still hit me. Wow. Unfortunate that you were not the enemy who got marked. Should do this. Okay, there we go. You're down. You're the one who was marked all along. Let's get rid of you. Let's also break that. Now, you're marked and backstabbed. Is there... oh, there's still a tree somewhere. Don't mind me. One of these dudes, fortunately, they don't move. So it's pretty easy to backstab them.
Homer. Hear me, on my authority.
Okay, let's see. So this, if we didn't already have her special, would be very tempting. Although you could argue it's still tempting. Just gives us even more ways to freeze. Sprint forms a gust. Yeah, we saw that before. Or start to get some of the magic restoration, which again, once we maybe possibly get some hex stuff going on or charge-centric things going, then that could help. Although even just our aspect alone does play into that a bit, as it does facilitate the backstabs with our attack. But I guess we'll do this. I think we saw a while back it was our single most commonly taken boon, which is understandable given how I am oftentimes looking for the freeze, and then usually to enable the, ooh, that's very nice, the Aphrodite close range attack more safely, which we tried doing with the torches last time. Did not work particularly well. I think maybe it was a bit of a forced thing, where, you know, just because that combination works well on some weapons doesn't necessarily mean it's the best fit on everything.
As for my arcana,
I did see you, and we do not have Trinos, so that means we actually do need to do the mini game for this. Okay, and I am eyeing that hammer, of course. Okay, ready?
let me show you the way.
I never know if we get the last one or not. Because I don't know if it more or less needs absolutely perfect timing where you react instantly. It just doesn't have the same sound effect for the last one, which makes me feel like I probably didn't register, but I don't really know for sure. Okay, so yes, the health would be helpful. We do still have the armor active, though, and long-term, this hammer upgrade could be very nice. I will note, the special has, on several occasions, more or less auto-targeted to an enemy that I did not necessarily want it to go for. You know, ideally, it would be hitting the enemy that is closest to us in most situations, or the enemy who happens to be positioned such that we can get the backstab bonus on them. And in the past, didn't really make a difference because we made it work either way, but almost got hit for that reason on that occasion. It may end up happening later on in the run. Probably will at some point. Hopefully it won't be terribly punishing, though. Let's see, specials deal plus 15% damage, and each hit bounces. Man. I really wish our special was better base rarity, because if so, then this could be incredible. Specials have plus 15 power and deal damage in a wider area. Also intriguing, in terms of a flat 15 damage versus 15%, I feel like this is probably more damage in total, because that flat 15 would then get multiplied by the backstab from our aspect, at least when it is hitting people in the back, and this as well. So it could turn into over 30% damage, whereas this will be less than that. However, this can hit more people. So better area, better single target damage. Charge attack deals way more damage in a wide area, but uses extra magic. I know we've used this and it's been incredible for us in the past. We don't yet have an attack boon at the moment. I was kind of assuming we were going to go the attack route, although everything has been turning up special thus far, and we don't have this one yet. So maybe... oh, that did also say wider area. So maybe this is also decent for the... okay, well now we get the hex showing up. We should definitely take this. Oh, and it's a free room.
Thank the fates. I draw you down, O moon. Lend me your
Okay.
light.
So this could be critical.
Tends to be quite a solitary one. I have my steeds to speak to, yes, but it is not the same as when I have the opportunity to speak with you.
Oh, Selene, thanks. You didn't have to. Okay, what do we have? X launches, heat-seeking projectile. Oh, the morph one. Yep. Beam that deals damage over 2 seconds. I do like that one if we get it highly upgraded. Before it gets highly upgraded, it's kind of questionable because it does leave us vulnerable while we're in the animation to do it. Restores health up to 3 times, which replenishes whenever we use fountains. We're about to walk up to a fountain. We've never taken this one before. It's defensive, it's healing oriented. I don't know what... Oh, I was about to say what passive bonuses it can get from, or I guess in some cases active bonuses, from further upgrades. Although this one says it has the most potential, gains 2 upgrades from Path of Stars. Wait. Okay, so that means it technically can improve the most, theoretically. I feel like I kind of want something we're familiar with for now, given how we were getting a little experimental last time, and the reworked weapon. Oh, and I remember you. Oh, hold on.
Little one, I have something for you.
This could be key.
If this treat is to your liking, then it means we share a bond. We do. Rocky, pleased to meet you.
Rocky.
Let us protect each other from now on.
That's big. That's big. We did see him once before down here, but I think you have to encounter him multiple times, and we had of course been going to the surface more often than not as of late, so didn't have many opportunities. There is obviously the Chaos Gate there. There is also this place to heal when we don't have any health to heal. So the interesting thing here, I actually don't remember if this depletes armor or if it goes straight to health. We're laid enough on the floor that we are about to see Hecate, and it is the alternate version of Hecate that we have not done before, and I don't know what we're getting ourselves into. So it does make me a little nervous about the timing. Ideally, we would have seen this earlier. Otherwise, we've already gone to at least one gold room, and we took the gold keepsake, so we're doing pretty well on that front. I do like Hermes, though, so I would be tempted to go here. I guess we'll give this a shot. This could backfire horribly, depending on what we see. Deal damage to our health or armor? Health. Honestly, that might be better, because we can heal our health, we can't heal our armor.
Once there was darkness all throughout the underworld, but now Kronos works to reshape the realm to suit his preferences. However, there shall always be darkness here in this space, and I have made it visible to you.
Thank you? I think. Oh!
Darkness. I'm grateful for this gift.
Okay. It gives us one of the darkness resources, which we've not been able to find yet. And there's at least one, if not multiple, big things that require that. So that's actually huge. So I'm glad we went down for that reason. However, as for this run itself, what do we have? Next 3 boons, we'll have 1 fewer option. Afterward, we get a lot of magic restoration. That is very nice. At least, I mean, honestly, the downside isn't that bad, and the upside is pretty good. We've not yet cleared 2 encounters in 120 seconds. Take 500 damage? Afterward, any gold we gain is basically twice as good. It's the first floor, so we haven't had that many encounters. We did have the crazy special damage that I was saying was better than I expected. I'd have to imagine at least the first room we cleared in better than 120 seconds. Did we clear another one? I mean, if not, then I honestly don't know how it... I mean, it's enough to kill us, at least once. Would it... It wouldn't remove multiple Death Defiances, would it? I'm a little bit intrigued. I mean, long term, this would be very beneficial, of course, because we could get some serious gold adding up. Oh. Special damage, though. 3 common boons kind of stinks, but at the same time, 70% special damage is more than what we have on our existing special boon. So all of these are good. Wow. I kind of want all of them, even if this one is risky. Maybe it does kind of come down to the downside then. I mean, this one is a little... Oh, I was going to say it's a little more speculative, but now that we do have the Hex, magic restoration is important now. That's no longer a theoretical thing. That's real. So let's take this. Okay, I think this is the penultimate room. So I think we are basically going straight into Hecate. Now, granted, this is not going to hinder us at all in the Hecate encounter, so that's actually kind of nice. Oh, more fishing. Okay, Tula, theoretically, you're going to do this all yourself.
It's over.
I think. Is that the same fish we got before? It's also 1 star. Oh, no. Okay, wait. Before she does anything, take all this stuff.
Here's the gold. Should go.
Okay, so it blocks this. That's from Chaos. Would have been gain a barrier. It stops 1 instance of damage per encounter, but it primes some magic. It would have been nice, especially going into an encounter that we were unsure about. Ooh. This is good. It's still early enough that this could pay off, and I mean, there aren't very many boons it could hit. If it hits Ice Flourish, we were saying that was the big knock against it. It was just common rarity. So I like that, and she stole... I don't remember what this was. It might have been a palm. I wish she took this, because we didn't need it. We're going to heal up all of our health upon going in there. Does it say... Oh, here it is. Does it tell us which one it's going to hit? I feel like there was a point in time when it did. Or at least Rare Crop did, and that once upon a time was the name of what might be this boon, or it might be a slightly different boon.
I see you have another customer, my lord. First come, first served, is it?
Unfortunately. I tried to immediately go to pick this stuff up so that Nemesis couldn't steal something from us. I suppose good thing that I went for the boon first, because that was probably the highest priority, but as I said, wish she stole the healing.
I'll hurry it up.
Okay. I think that's it. Now the big question, though, is what are we about to get ourselves into with this new Hecate fight? Theoretically more difficult. How difficult? I have no idea. She is, of course, still the first boss of this run. So hopefully it's not too crazy, but I'm intrigued. Oh,
You found me.
that's 3 Hecates.
A frightful night. Cold and dark and everything.
Is her eye usually glowing
You've
like that?
spoken certain vows, and as the moon is our witness, I too have spoken mine. Now we may clash in earnest, finally.
Oh, is she implying she was holding back before? Now we see her final form?
So you have been holding back against me.
Yeah.
You said you'd push me to my limits and beyond.
Okay.
Our limits grow along with us. I know mine well enough by now. Do you know yours? I am eager to find out for myself.
Definitely much more aggressive, harsher tone of voice from Hecate as well, which is fitting given the circumstances. She feels more like a rival, which I think was the name of the... Oh!
The dark
What?
side.
Look upon me, you say? Granted, I ran away, which I feel like is the opposite of what you were trying to tell me to do. I mean, there are 3 Hecates, which of course we have seen in the past during a phase, a specific phase. Ow. Oh, okay, yeah, and only one of them is real. The other ones are fake. So it's kind of similar to that, what we've seen in the past. Are they different colors? I mean, you're definitely... Trying to tell if they're actually different color, or it's just the 2 that are not real, don't actually take damage, are not aggressively pursuing, is the primary way that I'm able to tell them apart. The annoying thing is that the mark can still... Oh, that's serious. The mark can... Oh, she has more attacks than usual. Also, she kind of phased out of existence for a second there. That's not the real one. Okay, so it's definitely more deceptive. Some of those attacks might be slightly different as well. Oh. In what way? What am I beholding? Kind of just poking her occasionally. Not getting too aggressive. Okay, but what happens now? Selene will test your will. Selene's on my side. Am I just dodging, or do I actually... Oh, do I need to get... Might need to hit you? I honestly don't know. Probably. And now you're armored, whereas in normal Hecate fight, this phase, those enemies would not be armored. Ooh. Yeah, I am a bit. You're not wrong. That's fate. Oh no. What was that? What was that sound effect? I couldn't move for a second, or it seemed like I couldn't move for a split second? That doesn't look good. You're also not real. You are. Why do you have some kind of glowing effect around you? I don't like this. It's gone now. Oh, was that the... That might have been the freeze, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's just more obvious in that case, which is kind of nice. Tula, go! Feels like the real Hecate does have slightly different coloration, but I can't really stop to ponder that too much and compare. Yeah, every once in a while we get that sound effect. Yeah. That's not the real one. That is. And you teleported. Oh, she's turning me into something now. What is it this time? Now we're a rat. It used to be a lamb. I'm not sure if it's really any different. We might be slower than we were even as a rat. Can I please change back now? There we go. So yeah, it certainly has some similarities to the usual Hecate fight. But it does seem like it's, you know, the sorts of things that she did before are now just amped up. Either they're always active, or they're active to a greater extreme now. Where's the actual? Would the real Hecate please stand up? Nope, please don't lock onto the fake Hecate. As I said, I don't have perfect control over who the special targets. It kind of just makes up its mind sometimes. And locks on to, like this, locks on to someone I would rather it not lock onto. Nope, and admittedly that time I just saw her low health and decided, let's go for it. But there we go. So interesting, for sure. It was certainly more difficult, not like dramatically more difficult.
You never could have stopped me had I used dark side against you thus.
This is called, she's a part of the dark side. She joined the Sith.
She still held something back.
Oh? Is that so now?
Outlasted her.
Oh, we actually still have armor. That's nice. Anything else here? I don't think so. So yeah, took that fairly slow and steady and experimented a bit with what sorts of skills she had.
Wearing protective suit.
Oh. That we are. To be honest, I don't know if we've ever made it through the Hecate fight while we still had armor on from Arachne, so this might be the first time he's had reason to make that comment.
Here comes our shadowy assassin on her nightly escapade to try and do me harm. Although perhaps the outcome shall not be so fortunate this time.
Alright.
We'll soon find out, won't we? I promise not to keep you waiting long. I'm well on my way already, as you can see.
Oh, that I can. Then I had best return and make ready. We have to tidy up for your arrival, after all. Until later tonight.
Until then.
Alright. So obviously, our goal, ideally, is to defeat him on this run. Let's see. What else do we have here? Whenever we would take damage, instead we heal. Doesn't make, I mean, technically, I guess means we don't get any damage, although the healing is kind of meaningless when we have armor right now. We use magic restore it over 3 seconds up to a total of 500. We do have... We will soon have automatic magic restoration from chaos, so that's maybe not critically important, although that is inexpensive. Sacrifice boons will be offered as soon as possible. Your next one gets +2 levels. That would be interesting, potentially. So it could allow us to, say, improve the rarity of this Ice Flourish. We would like to keep one of these, of course, for the freeze, but since we have 2 ways to get the freeze, we have a little bit of flexibility there. And we should see them get upgraded in rarity fairly soon, actually. But the problem is, this. There's a chance that it'll be the one that gets crossed out. Don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's only 25 gold, so maybe we give it a shot.
All right.
We do have a lot of gold. And then here, I mean, I would like if we could get the Moonbeam happening so that we can set up, I mean, either that or if we want to go with the classic combo, the Aphrodite plus Freeze from Demeter. This is the weapon that I think it is most effective on. So that is kind of tempting. And then maybe we can save the Moonbeam for a little bit later, because if we take this now, we can obviously get the attack boon earlier. We set Aphrodite precedent, so even if we don't get the attack boon immediately, we have a better chance of getting it later on. So if it's this, then next floor after that becomes Moonbeam, and then final floor, we go Luckier Tooth. I think that's more or less what we often find ourselves doing, so it's kind of a tried and tested technique. Let's give it a shot. And so
Downward.
we got the more difficult version of Hecate defeated. From here on out, theoretically, all the bosses are behaving normally. Wouldn't be until we upgrade that, or we up that modifier even more, that we would start to see Scylla and then Cerberus and so on and so forth. Then also becoming different and more difficult. Okay, so this is the kind of room where, yes, sometimes these will have enemies, or sometimes we'll get this immediately. Okay, so the bones do give us bonus magic, which is still nice.
The exits are right there.
It does give us a tiny bit of extra
Get in there.
gold, potentially. That's why I'm still voluntarily doing this. Yeah, it actually added up a bit. Oh. More bones, which is a little bit hard to get excited about. We actually don't have a lot of bones because the various Chaos Trials we did where I tried to take the bonus bones weapon, that just doesn't apply for Chaos Trials, so there's a lot of bones that we thought we were getting that we weren't actually getting. We could stick around and unseal another spot. Yeah, let's do it.
Open up.
Don't actually know how that affects the chaos. The evolution of the Chaos Boon. Does that count as an extra? I don't think it does. Okay, well, bones plus a little bit of magic, ashes plus a little bit of life. And this is usually what it comes down to, is given the choice, I tend to lean toward life. I think we would like to do this for crowd control reasons. Oh, we also didn't really take much notice of what our special was like after getting that hammer upgrade, which we can now do, and it is kind of noticeable. There, when you see just how many enemies there are, being able to hit multiple of them. Obviously, we did see that happening against Hecate, but it's a little harder to notice the difference when there's just one enemy, at least the area of effect aspect. Okay, so here, Shop is a little tempting, although again, we'd expect to see at least one more. I think we have to go Narcissus here, because I'm still thinking that these sorts of NPCs, the Medeas, Narcissi, Arachnes, even if Arachne didn't give us the keys to the hidden aspects, I'm guessing that is generally going to be one of the best ways to find them. So Narcissus may be important for that reason.
Maybe I should, like, go? Like, somewhere else? But I can't leave you, man. What?
Oh. We might have Narcissus art. Have we gotten... and new music for Narcissus as well? I don't recognize this. I think this is new. Ooh. stylistically quite different as well. Very different. I like it. Feels very romantic, and dramatic, which is maybe fitting for Narcissus, or gives us a little more insights as to what we might expect from him going forward. Can we see our keepsakes here? I honestly don't remember if we have one from him yet or not. I remember the boon-giving gods and goddesses that we don't yet have keepsakes from are Zeus and, blanking out on her name, but the goddess of the hearth. And we haven't seen either of them. We do now have an extra nectar to spare, so maybe we gift to him. I don't remember what his keepsake is. We might have never given one to one of these nectars.
As you've made no attempt to snap my head from my shoulders, unlike many other things lurking about, I'm compelled to give you this. Just as a casual acquaintance, to be clear.
It will be interesting to see how he responds to that.
You give me such tokens of affection, full knowing I've already got a lot of them, and, more importantly, am spoken for. Fine. Here's something to remember me by.
Okay. So, yes, definitely new art. Very dramatic indeed. And it sounds like we had not yet gotten his keepsake, so that's good.
How could I ever forget you, Narcissus?
How could we? Alright, well that was just a conversation based on gifting, but what about the actual normal conversation?
Good to see you come in, because I can't really see anything in here anymore. I'm sure the water's gonna clear up, though. At least, I think I'm sure.
Oh, I honestly didn't even realize that. This is the one place where the water is not clear and blue. It's all swampy.
Amiss. Such contamination typically never lasts more than a night or two. Have you checked other locations? The waters elsewhere don't appear like this.
Has that always been the case in this room? Or is that a recent addition as of this update? Or is it just because we've now seen Narcissus X number of times and coincidentally we reached that number right as the update happened?
You're just saying that to lure me away so you can take my spot. Since when are you an expert on water filtration? No, these types of problems always fix themselves.
Okay, let's see. I thought I remembered the gifts that he gives relative to some of the other similar people on other floors. They're not quite as good. Healing and... oh, max life, not healing. Okay, I do like that more than healing here because we are on full health. That and bones. Yeah, just music is... like it is very stylistically different. If I were a guitar expert, I would be able to articulate that better. But I'm not enough of a guitar expert to say anything with any sort of authority, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and keep myself out of trouble. Okay. Receive max magic and psyche, mystery boon, and a mystery seed. That's kind of tempting, especially since would this also affect the chaos boon? It might. Let's go for this for that reason. Ew. Gross. There's the mystery seed. This, it is Zeus. Okay, again, we theoretically would like to give to him if possible.
The outskirts of Poseidon's realm, it seems. You mean to circumnavigate your father's domain? Why confront the armies of Kronos head-on when you could go around? A clever move.
This is definitely the first time we've seen Zeus as of the update. I love what they did with his hair. The way they turned that into a storm cloud, a cumulonimbus cloud. That was very clever. Okay, so that gets X'd out. What was this going to be? Whenever we use magic, random foes struck by lightning. That would be kind of nice. We can strike foes with lightning by running. Oh, this is the swap. The swap boon that we theoretically guaranteed that does have a higher level because of that. Your specials inflict blitz. Oh, I don't know if we want this, to tell you the truth. Yes, it's a higher rarity, and it is level 3. However, hold on. The The way the blitz damage is calculated is key. Blitzed foes struck by lightning after they take 120 damage or after 4 seconds. This might actually be a damage downgrade because it does not... The damage is not based on backstab. I think it's completely unaffected by our aspect, whereas this is affected by our aspect. I think we might just be taking this. So, I don't know exactly how the math would play out there. That's not exactly how I expected for the sacrifice boon to potentially brick, but okay, it arguably did. This is a mini-boss, and this is Aphrodite. Oh, right. You are relatively new. We have seen you once before? Oh, I did not remember you working like that. Okay, this is an absolute minefield. You kind of forced me to run away when you chased me down like that, before I had time to clear things out. It would be nice to be able to do that a little bit more here. Ideally from a safe range. No, I was not quick enough. And that broke our armor? Okay, fair enough. We had armor that was just giving us, just gave us a crafting resource. There wasn't any passive bonus. Okay, now we can focus on you. I honestly don't remember if you can respawn those enemies. I hope not, because obviously that was the thing that I prioritized going after. Oh, what is aiming at? Okay, we did freeze you. Even with the armor, I didn't remember if you could freeze enemies that had armor. Freeze does have a cooldown, but there we go. Able to freeze again now. Oh! Oh, you hit us with the ink. I remember that being a thing. So we took a little bit of damage there. We lost the armor, but again, I don't think that's actually a huge deal. This could be a big deal. This is what I was hoping was going to get the sacrifice boon. Although I guess the attack is what we'd really like.
The moon herself did have something to do with it, did she not? I can tell. Your secret's safe with me.
Okay. That one is gone. Deal 7% more damage while we have at least 80% health. That's 14%. There is the attack boon. I think we rarefy this and we run with it.
Anything for you.
Because that's more or less exactly what we were looking for. Oh, another free fishing opportunity.
Victory.
And I don't know if we've seen that before. It doesn't look like a fish to me. But we do also have... Has this activated at all yet? I don't know if it has. It's 2 rooms away. And we got the key thing we were looking for from the mirror, so we can certainly swap that out. And I don't think... Oh, this could still go heroic, so that could actually get upgraded from you. Otherwise, the special, as we were saying, was originally... Well, originally I was planning on something like this attack. Then we got distracted with the special, which was surprisingly good. Now I don't know what's going to be better.
Spindles.
This, once again, feels like a situation where if we could clear some of this out a bit, that would be very helpful. It's just a little hectic in here. So we freeze you, then we move in for this. And especially if we do manage to get the backstab on. And that damage should be pretty ginormous. That is not the enemy that I was aiming for, as I was saying before. That does happen sometimes with this special. Okay.
My claim.
Not too bad. Get a little bit of life. We have passed on several max life upgrades, so we are maybe a little further behind than we would like to be there. He says as he is likely about to turn down another max health upgrade. I can't say no to Selene here. Oh? What is this? I have no idea what's happening. What? What's happening? Oh dear.
The underworld you never knew, but you did not miss much.
It's Hades 1? I remember this happened to us once before. Reveal? So yeah, this is Asphodel from Hades 1.
I'm going back where I belong.
Seek a way out. Stay in the ring. Oh. Okay, stay in here. Other enemies will spawn. Lava will hurt us. Or at least it did in Hades 1, so I assume that is still the case here. The freeze is definitely doing some pretty serious work. Didn't see... Oh, the number does... It doesn't just stay still, it actually goes down if you are not standing in the circle. It is unfortunate. That was an enemy.
You survive, but you do not learn.
Okay, if you say so. Alright, so we have not yet taken the Moonbeam, or whatever her keepsake is called, so we are expecting to see a fair bit more of the upgrade points soon. But this certainly helps. Remind me what we're looking at here. Yeah, this is the key thing that I really want to get, because otherwise we're locked in place while we channel it. And that is very dangerous. Next, gains power. And if we can, over the course of every 1 second, if we can increase the duration of it, I don't remember if that's a thing. Is it? Gain armor. Gain armor. More damage. Deals damage in an area at the end point. Deals damage around us. Gains damage over time. Charges up automatically. Gain armor. Would love if you'd let me see this. More damage over time. Armor. Deal more damage. Continuously fire. Okay. So nothing that increases the duration, because that would work really well with this, but unfortunately that's not gonna work. A lot of that damage over, or gaining power if we go the bottom route. Yeah, that's going to be very much what it looks like if we go the bottom route. If we go the top route, we get the automatic charging, which I probably would prefer. Other determining factor would be overflow versus this. I think dispersion is probably better. Could go all the way to get that right now. Maybe that's reason enough to do this. And I'm hoping that with the keepsake, we can then still...
Merely a vision.
Oh, okay, we did end up skipping the room that I did want to go. What was it? I don't even remember anymore. It was gonna be Selene. Oh, well, we got the Selene reward at the end of that room, I suppose, so... Wasn't the way we expected it to happen, but we did still get the reward we were looking for. And the rhythm of this floor has been a little odd. Not really sure how far we are in it right now, but kind of trapped at the moment. But I am, of course, noticing that Scylla is singing, which suggests we may not be far from that boss encounter. It is nice to have the, at least the option of going with a solid range damage skill, and one that also has crowd control with the freeze, which is just something we were sorely lacking on so many levels in the previous run.
I'm soaked.
What's this guy doing here? Looks like we should be able to talk to that guy. He almost looks like one of the familiars. Like, this might be the penultimate room. Yeah, I think it might be. In which case, this would be a free Demeter boon, which is kind of nice. Couldn't tell if that was gold or not. On the other hand, we could potentially purchase multiple things from the shop, so that might be quicker burst of value. Oh, this also theoretically upgraded the rarity of something? Oh, it was the mark. It's now going to cycle between, or replenish more quickly. Probably would have preferred to have had this. Definitely would have, or even that. Short term, long term. Let's go. I think we can save a little bit of money by going this route. Because this is probably more or less what we would have purchased from the shop. We don't need healing from the shop, so that wouldn't have been a big deal. Like maybe getting a palm in addition to a boon would have been the best possible outcome, but we didn't know for certain that was going to happen, and it still would have cost us a fair bit of gold.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, so what do we have here? More magic restoration. Whenever we gather resources, we restore life and get a seed. Or, no, right now we get a seed, and that would restore 10% life right now, which we're gonna be healed up to full when we enter the next room anyway. Also create a gust, which deals a little bit of extra damage. A little hard to get excited about that. However, I thought there was one of the infusion boons that was really good that we saw activates once you have, or can activate once you have, I think it's 4 of the water boons, and this would get us up to 4. So that is very speculative. But if we aren't thrilled about any of these, then that could potentially be reason to go that route. Honestly, I already forget what that one was, because I picked it solely... It was the Gus. Okay. Picked it solely because it was a water boon. Okay, so this should be a normal fight against Scylla and the Sirens. It was just Hecate who we made more power pick.
Oh, looky gals, our #1 obsessive fan come to ruin our show for everybody else.
That's our specialty.
We'll get our own big security team to take care of little incidents like this.
I have little choice but to ruin your shows since you refuse to let me by. Though this time at least I'm here for you, Scylla.
Oh.
The will of Night demands it.
Oh, true. She is the enemy we're supposed to fight for getting, what is it? Nightmare? One of the crafting resources.
Oh, well, that figures. Can't make it big without making some enemies. Well, our audience likes our shows no matter what happens, like real fans. So do your worst, lady.
I love Scylla's writing and voice acting is incredible. It's so good. Okay, unfortunately, she does block the backstab with her shell. But it is still... It feels a little bit like free damage. Which is nice. Ooh, I did not time that. I knew it was happening, but I did not time it well. Yep. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. And did we... I forget if we have heard new songs from Scylla after the update. I guess this is our first time fighting her, so maybe not. Maybe I heard in some like the promo materials or something. Okay, I was bullying the drummer, so not terribly surprised to see she's the one to woo to make that sound effect. No, to go immune first. Okay, this would also be a situation in which to do this, and the damage, if you're backstabbing consistently, is pretty significant. Drummer back. If you just want to stand there and get backstabbed, that is fine by me. Drummer back. Nope. Where did the guitars go? There we go. It would be really nice if we could backstab you, because that is... did we get it for a second there? Or did that say blocked? Also, your range is a little bit annoying, but here we go. Like this works! We sneak around, can we kinda sorta... Oh, you also were technically frozen. We might actually be able to backstab her if we do, like... Does this count? I don't know. Like, we are behind her when we hit her, but we're still hitting her in the front because her back is blocked by the shell. So I think either way, she's functionally immune to backstab. Maybe our charge attack would do it? Not entirely sure. Okay, well, that wouldn't be a great time to do it, though. This is also not a great time to do this. For several reasons. I kind of forgot. Kind of forgot the critical details of that hex. The fact that this solo section is going this long, I think, is testament to just how much we were focusing on exclusively targeting the drummer at the beginning, and then, to a certain extent, the guitarist. Better to do this? It might be. Yes, I see you. was not the angle that I expected for you to, or the trajectory I expected from this move. Unusual. There we go. Down goes Roxy, oh no! Okay, probably go for the Kitaris next, because we know it's going to force us to leave Skilla for last. She teleported somewhere. Wait, where did she teleport to? There you are. Oof, got stuck for a second there. Almost very unfortunate timing. This is kind of ideal. May not be quick, but it is the safe approach. We did get some silly damage. We did take some silly damage. Now it's just here. Oh, I forgot that also deals damage. I was waiting for it to explode so I didn't get hit by the explosion. Fortunately, the steam was just a little poke. Okay. Now we get this. I think we want that. Cause yep. It's definitely helping from a crowd control standpoint. Did still end up taking a fair number of hits though. In that circle as well. Are you getting hit by that? Yes. Just turn it into hit and run basically. The special just isn't quite fast enough to deal with these guys very well. Come on. That should do it pretty soon. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we ended up taking a decent bit of damage, but we can heal that off at the well, and at that point, might be, if not full health, close to it. And we get that, and this. Very nice. Okay. Let's head on down. Once you factor in the healing in between rooms as well. Yeah, this gets us to max. No worries. More free fishing. Getting a lot of that, which is good on a run when we have Tula. Another one of those guys. Okay, so now we were saying we got the value we were looking for from the beautiful mirror. So ideally we would go Moonbeam. Oh, this is the new, I mean, we can take a peek at what the new keepsake is from Narcissus. Fountains restore plus 20% life. The next turn's one random common, wait. What does that mean? The next turns, oh, as in the next fountain. Okay, using the word fountain there would make that a lot clearer. The next fountain turns one random common boon of yours rare. That's interesting. So it's better healing and rarefying some boons, and usually the thing that gets upgraded as it levels, as the keepsake levels, is written in green, but nothing's written in green here. I think maybe the thing that is it the rarity that your common boons turn into? Does that become epic and then heroic? And it's blue right now because that is the color that signifies rare. That's my guess. Otherwise you would think it would be the amount of healing that it gives you gets better. Okay, so let's do this. Because that way we get some pretty sizable upgrades from Selene. Might more or less, I don't know if we're maxed out next time we get a Selene boon, but kind of close. Should at least be able to get the big thing we're looking for. Let's see, after duration, restore 50% of our health. We are on max right now, but obviously things could go a little sideways on the next floor. Next Well of Charon item with duration will instead expire after 2 Guardians. Oh. Those are the bosses at the end of each floor. So that means it activates at the end of the run. So there are only 2 Guardians left. So if it were after 1 Guardian, that would be really helpful. This makes sense, I think. But at least with this one, we would rather have this happen in 4 encounters than at the end of 2 Guardian encounters. This is expensive as well. I mean, that's a lot of healing, but let's go for this. It's a little bit of a risk, obviously, what with it being chaos, but still. I think we can take our chances there, because it's nice and early on the floor, which is convenient. Hopefully that means it will evolve by the time we're actually at the boss fight. And the first Chaos Boon gave us the Magic Restoration. Is that what it was? Because I know we were thinking about a few different things. Where is it? Not that. It's not that. That's all X-related stuff. This. Yes. Okay. Magic Restoration. Oh, I do want Selene as soon as possible, but we did pay for the Chaos Gate, and we definitely want this as soon as possible as well, so we'll still take it. And we also get the free entry. Doesn't... Ooh, okay, so this is apparently how we get darkness. And as I was saying before, we very much needed that. Now we have 2 of them. Man, that could be huge. And a fishing spot here as well? Wow.
No escape. Looks like a Motti.
Unfortunately, it is once again the basic rarity one, but we'll see what happens with the boon here, but already this seems like it was the right choice.
By the will of chaos.
Let's see, next 4 encounters, slain foes drop Inferno Bombs. Afterward, we get a decent cast damage boost. Next 4 encounters, we sprint slower, and afterward, we restore even more magic per second. I feel like that's probably overkill. I mean, at that point, magic is... we don't have to worry at all about magic, but I feel like we might have already been at that point. Next 4 encounters, each time you use a charge move, we take 6 damage. Afterward, our move and sprint speed is faster. I feel like the downside of this is... I mean, the downsides on all of them are kind of bad. This might be the best in terms of the downside. The upside, I might prefer this one. Cerberus having extra speed against him is definitely useful. Both base move and sprint speed. And in basically every encounter, that's useful as well. So, let's try it. Do need to remember not to go with charge moves. We have no choice but to do a mini-boss. Okay, we do not have anything yet with Poseidon. We have several boons from Demeter, which means we could potentially get a legendary boon or possibly a duo boon from Demeter. Same cannot be said of Poseidon, I don't think. So we'll try this. We have, at times, had some issues with the mini-bosses on this floor, but it's been a long time since we last faced them, and with no charge attack, that does potentially complicate things quite a bit. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm feeling like we try to get rid of you guys, simplify things. Because I think that's one of the reasons why we have this many of the laser beams chasing after us. Okay, the freeze is nice. Is that enough to get you? That might be. Nope, not quite. Now it is. Do they regain armor over time? I honestly don't know. Okay, now it's just... Oh, no, I was about to do a charge attack. Saw the opportunity for the backstab. I wanted to take it, and I remember just before it counted as being backstab. Or just before it counted as being a charge attack. Can still backstab like this, though. Okay, now you're armorless. So now it is much easier. Okay, there we go. Not too bad.
That's enough slithering about.
Not too bad.
ancestors and my foster
Oh.
brothers and I overthrew Kronos long ago. We were much closer to your age, Flower. Now we are older, and one should think wiser. Although our frequent bickering and inaction suggest otherwise.
Duo with Aphrodite, maybe?
We are a strong
No, with
village
Zeus.
family, as you know perfectly well, Lady Demeter. We must move forward in unison. Building that sort of consensus is not always quick, though we each could do our part to hasten it along.
Okay, what do we have here? Your freeze effects also cause lightning bolts to repeatedly strike afflicted foes. It doesn't have the scroll next to it, so theoretically we have seen this before. That means both our special and our cast cause enemies to get struck by lightning. That sounds pretty good to me.
Cold comfort.
Okay, now we don't have, unfortunately, we don't have the Hex Selene upgrade on this room. I do like Hermes, and the gold, it might not be all that necessary, but... Okay, let's see. I don't really understand, or I don't remember, how the Chaos Boon evolutions work on this floor, where you kind of have multiple rooms stuffed into one in many instances. Do each one of these count as individual encounters for Chaos purposes? A little bit of gold. Ooh, don't do that. Looks like a little bit of magic.
There.
Let's get you real quick. Anything else we're looking for? Not really. Okay, let's go with you first. What are we dealing with? Oh, there's one of the smoke cloud guys over there. Oh, what? I did not realize that was a wall that was going to prevent me from approaching from that angle. It does complicate things a little bit. Okay, we are going to have to go into the smoke cloud. I was going to say, it seemed like that might have been the last enemy. Now I think it is. Freezing you certainly helps. There we go.
All right.
You already caught up with Artemis. Good, good. She and I don't always chat, running around a lot, being discreet and all, but we exchange a knowing look from time to time.
Okay, what do we have here? Your chance-based effects are more likely to occur except for dodge or daze. What do we have that has a chance, but is not guaranteed to happen? I'm not sure that really affects much at all. No, I don't think so. That's still guaranteed. Yeah, I don't think this helps us at all right now. I mean, it could have potential, but this is really big. I think we're probably going to take that. First purchase each location costs less. Another item spawns after. That is also really good. This is more defensive. This is more, well, it depends on what you buy. We do have a lot of gold already, which does potentially help us get even more value out of it, but you could also make the case we just don't need that. I think we go the defensive route here, because as we were saying previously, we have passed on a few max health upgrades, so we don't have that much max health at the moment. Want to be a little mindful of that. Therefore, might make sense for us to get a little more aggressive on defensive upgrades of different varieties. So that doesn't start to catch up with us. Oh, what did I... Oh, did I walk into the thorns there? I might have. And then I got distracted because I walked into the thorns. It was silly. You got frozen, which was nice. Now you're down. Okay, so yeah, that did ultimately lead to us taking a fair bit more damage than we would have liked. The thorns were not a big deal, but taking the slam from the wolf dude. Okay, so, I mean, if we're going by the logic we were following before, we probably should go here. Don't really need the magic. The gold is probably overkill. The palm is probably the most useful thing here. We would like for that to be on one of those three. There's a decent chance it would hit one of them. But I think we can still take this.
Out of my way.
More fishing. So much fishing.
And caught.
All the 1-star rarity, which I don't know how impactful that is in terms of
How goes it?
the actual value
Doing all right?
of the fish. But I mean, the total volume has to still add up to be pretty significant. Did her art look like this before? I feel like she looks different.
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. All right.
So many dangers all throughout these fields. Yet here on this bridge, I feel a sense of comfort, even peace. It's because of your presence and your power.
Your presence and your power. Presence and power. Presence and power.
We could use some presence and power. After your next purchase from Charon, gain another at no cost. Or no extra charge. In most cases. What does that mean, in most cases? Because I am just thinking about that. We're not crazy far away from the super shop at the end of Tartarus. Obviously, there's going to be at least one shop at the end of this floor. So we would have to strategically avoid purchasing anything there and then deliberately wait until the final shop on the last floor. And then if we were to do this, to activate this there, we could get, you know, some really expensive item for free. But I don't know. That's maybe not sure how valuable that really is. That's probably still just a crafting resource of some variety. Choose one of 3 random boons from the previous night. Could be helpful. Gain max life and healing based on their limits, but lose 5% of this after each location. I know we've seen this before, and I've always kind of been hesitant to take it because losing that value over time feels like it's not going to be there when we need it most. So I think we go with the straightforward option here. In which case, you know, was this room going to give us more value than the other room that had 3 rewards in it? I don't know.
Please take care.
Let's see.
Take care.
Like, this is basically just a better version of what we saw on the other spot. Can dash 35% more frequently, attack, special, and caster time. All these are good. I mean, these are obviously higher rarity. As I was saying, we have passed on some defensive stuff before. I mean, this is also defensive, to be fair, in many ways. So I suppose we took the extra speed from Hermes, right? Yeah, we did. So we take this in addition to that, then we have more mobility, significantly more mobility, that makes us more defensive that way, whereas this is just straightforward. You have more health. And for the rest of the night. Feel like we probably do still go this route. This is very tempting, but maybe we can kind of get away with passing up on it. Spiritual affirmation gained? Is that what this? Okay, yeah, it's just the name of this. Gotcha. Oh, this is also giving us sprint speed. I forgot about that. Okay, so we could have been lightning fast if we had also taken sprint speed there. Or the dash stuff, I guess.
I know that hound.
Oh! Hello, doggo. This is the doggo that we saw at the very beginning, I think, that ran off with Tula. It was in the crossroads, and then we haven't seen him since. One moment while I casually pick these flowers. Let's chat.
You're on a scouting mission for Headmistress, gal. Off she goes.
Okay. So yeah, I think both the bird that we saw earlier on this run and the dog that we just saw here, those did exist before this update. We just didn't happen to come across them. So that's just us kind of catching up in that way. Hard to say no to the hammer. The palm is potentially still useful as well. I mean, these we're mostly looking at for the freeze, which especially with the help of the hailstorm is a big deal. So if we were looking to upgrade, I think it's probably Flutter Strike that would be most significant. Whereas this technically could still get the Demeter Legendary boon. Poseidon, the game really wants to give us Poseidon. We still do not have him yet, though. I think we go with this. Hammer could be huge. Just awfully quiet upon entering the room, which gave me some pause. Oh, that does still give us a little bit of life. Okay, so remember, we still cannot use any charged moves. We may find that changing. Woo, hello. With our woo, you're still there. May find that changing with the next encounter. A little bit of stuff here. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies guarding that though. Ooh, we're still up. Also gives us a little bit of max health. I mean, now... Oh, and right, I'm getting little bonuses on that as well. So it's starting to add up. It's not like we're crazy low on health at this point. It's a decent amount. Okay, let's prioritize you.
I'm not your prey.
I would love if that had just a little bit more range. Oh. Not even see you guys at first. I do wish that the lightning bolts on the frozen enemies was a little bit stronger. I see them getting poked. It doesn't seem like the poke is worth that much. Oh. I don't see that at first. It's 30 damage. I mean, I suppose if you're kind of going the slow and steady... I think that's the Chaos Boon evolving, I'm pretty sure. We should be even faster now. We are pretty fast, and we have the instance of damage immunity. At least one. Might even be two. Okay. Attacks deal 150% damage striking foes from behind. Oh, goodness. This is also incredible. Both, please. And we saw this before. This is also really good for our specials. But now, in terms of raw damage, attack is more significant. The special is still decent and good for setup. Decent for damage, very good for setup. But, plus 400% at the down... It's only the charged attack, but it uses more magic. We have some magic restoration, so we're not terribly concerned about that. This is smaller damage bonus, but it applies to every type of attack, not just charged attack. But it's only when we strike from behind. It's just that one way to very often strike from behind is by using the charged attack, so they're very similar. This is where I wish we got the extra attack speed from Hermes, because that would make it easier for us to get the charge attack quickly and easily. This is a little more flexible in that way, but this has extra AoE. I mean, I want them both.
My blades shine like the moon.
Oh, and that comment about the moon reminds me, we've yet to see Selene, even with the moonbeam. So we have not yet been able to cash in on that, which is unfortunate. Oh no. Oh, hello. Not exactly what I expected.
To be extra reckless since your gold is on the line.
Oh, is that so now?
Come on in.
Come on then.
Okay, I am admittedly getting much more aggressive. Just face tanking enemies that I probably shouldn't face tank. In part because I'm trying to prevent Nemesis from killing them. As to whether this is worth doing for what is ultimately just 100 gold. Oh, that was very close. Oh, that was very close. Did we tie? No, we beat her by one. Okay.
Fine, you win.
Took a lot of damage in that process. Was it worthwhile for 100 gold? Probably not, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Okay, this is probably the biggest boon for us to upgrade. Because, yeah, we get more damage, but that's not the primary reason why we're using it. It's mostly for the freeze and for the duo boon setup. This is for damage.
I think I can finally go.
Finally. Oh, there's a mini shop. Okay, this might be the penultimate room, which is in part why I was saying it might not have been the best time for us to take damage, although we gained 100 gold to take a bit of damage. We could heal that off and still on net be ahead on monies. Use magic, restore it, take 10% less damage for 5 encounters. I mean, if we're about to go into a boss fight, that's pretty useful. So I think we might double up on these guys.
Knife.
Don't really think we need this. I think we're definitely going this route. I think this is going to be, yeah, second to last room. Okay, we would have gotten healing here, although this is more expensive and we're already at max health, so that's fine. Let's probably, we're going to take this and the Aphrodite boon, but let's take this first because we'd like to upgrade our existing Aphrodite boon, the one that we just upgraded last time. And it does show up here once again. Might be slight diminishing returns, but that's okay. That is still by far the most important boon for us, I think. Automatically inflict weak on nearby foes and gradually restore magic next to them. That could be really good, because that means that enemies deal less damage when they're near us, and we are going to need to be near them in many instances. Otherwise, extra damage when we spend magic, deal more damage when we have a lot of health. I don't love this one. It just feels like the damage upgrade needs to be higher for this to feel worthwhile. So let's do this. It's another defensive upgrade, and the defenses are starting to catch up a bit. Starting to feel a little bit better about where we stand on that front. Okay, so now what should be a normal Cerberus fight. Again, we don't have the rival fight for that active, and we are theoretically taking 10% less damage as well. See the flower. I'm tempted by the flower, but I'm not going to take the flower. Even if the flower looks tempting, I'm not going to take the flower. Okay, it would also help if I remembered whether I took which one of those hammer upgrades did I end up choosing? Did I already forget? I think it was the one where we charged up. Oh, where do I run? Nowhere. Just barely there. Breathe. But it worked. Alright, so this is where he's frozen, so he takes little bits of damage from the lightning. Like in a boss encounter, okay, you know, you can't always have permanent uptime on your skills. So having another way to more passively deal damage is kind of nice. This might be overkill because he's probably going to phase very soon, or I'm going to have to dodge out of that and still get hit nonetheless. He's about to flamethrower. Oh no. It looked like he was. Oh, that's annoying. Wait, you're still up here even though he didn't phase? That's weird. I did not expect that. Where can I run?
Infested with these things.
Okay, get rid of one of you. Zap you guys while we're at it as well. Now I'd just like for those things to go away so I can more easily attack you. Do they persist even after Cerberus comes back? Looks like they might. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, we do charge the Hex quite quickly. Oh, you are gonna go. And I am going to hide here. And I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to run away. Oh, there's also a seed spot there that I did not even see. I did not see the seeds. I must apologize. I've now acquired the seeds, though. Do not worry. Oh, what? Has he done that in the past? Has he changed that location? Whoa, what's he doing? Doing flamethrower? There it is. Ooh, that's... Can I get you from here, though? No, I cannot. Worth a try. This again, that's fine. I don't love you throwing those out in the very limited space that I can walk during that phase. Ooh, here we are. Back to flamethrower. This, poke in the butt. And call it a day.
resourceful underworld princess somehow soothes the savage beast.
And that's new art. Alright. Success. In fact, I don't even know if we took any damage on that. With the help of some of those resistances, yes. It's our fan!
No more despair, good shade.
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It still feels like going down is way easier than going up. Now, of course, at least through the first 3 floors, now I may be jinxing this, setting myself up for failure here, but at least through those first 3 floors, the, what is it, Fields of Despair? I already forget what the name of the floor we just finished was, Fields of Despair, something like that. That is seemingly far easier than Olympus is. And then the bottom, or the final floor of each, in each direction, still think that going down in Tartarus is easier than the summit, but some of that might have to do with how we do still have more experience going down than we have going up, but even then, still feels like that's not the only reason. It feels like it's significant enough of a difference that it's more than just that. So we used the moonbeam, but we did not get Selene to show up while we had it active. So I would like to switch to the Luckier Tooth so that we get the extra Death Defiance just to play it safe on this final floor. I don't know if we've ever switched off the moonbeam before seeing Selene show up, and obviously she almost showed up, but we went into a Chaos Room or something like that, so we weren't able to actually get her reward. So are we gonna walk away empty-handed from that keepsake? I'm not entirely sure, but either way, I do think it's still worth going this route. And if we don't get the bonus from those 5 extra points from the Moonbeam on the Hex, then may very well mean that we're just not really going to use the Hex against Kronos, because we kind of sort of got away with it against Cerberus, but it was a little bit of a stretch, and I think you can't really get away with that kind of thing against Kronos. Okay, let's see. We can gain some armor. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and apparently we haven't done this before. We are expecting to see a super shop at the end of this floor, so we would like to have some money for that, but that's a long ways away. The seeds, there was a boon from Demeter that gives you a bonus when you pick up seeds, but I don't think we chose to take it. I think we took something else instead. I don't remember which one it was, but it was probably the one that gives us the upgrades over time. Let's do this. And then that even gives us a Charon card. We'll probably leave it at that. We could sell boons if we really wanted to. Is there anything that we really don't like? Nah. I mean, we could sell the dashing boon, I guess, for 35 gold. It's not really going to change anything for us in all likelihood, so I think we carry on.
Here goes.
Get a little bit more life from that. At a flat 200 now. More gold while we're at it. Okay, so it has been a little while since we were last down here.
Central control. Just need a moment.
We're gonna have to remind ourselves how to fight Kronos if we do make it to him, but of course, we have some business to attend to first.
She is heading for the house again. Stop her.
No more hiding in shadows.
I stood directly above that. That was very silly. It was very sloppy. I could not even tell what type of enemy that was that we were going after. Might have been one of the skulls. Yeah, the shield guys are a bit annoying because they obviously can block stuff. And they do have a ranged attack. But if we can freeze them, especially with our special and the backstab potential, then it might make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this, if we're willing to do it, it doesn't make progress, but it does give us more monies. I think we do it, because usually the bonus rooms on this floor require facing a mini-boss, which is more than I would otherwise tend to be willing to do. But very confined room. Come on, cat. Does mean that there's a lot of potential for the cast to help us out, though. And the cat. Okay. No damage taken. 300 gold gained. And a fishing spot.
4 chambers to go. Come on out.
The fish continue.
It's
a goldfish. It is once again 1 star. I just don't... There's a chance that Tula can only get 1 starfish. I don't remember her ever getting any... Or at least on this run, she hasn't gotten anything other than 1 star. Okay, what are we doing this time, you guys? Oh, that is not the direction I wanted to face. Whoa, right. Can't freeze you, can we? Don't think so. Ooh, right. Yeah, the projectiles do start to add up, which is why I really wanted to get rid of some of these guys. 2 for 1. Very nice. Oh, we got the resistance because we were dashing. Okay, that is very nice. That can happen even in basic rooms, not just boss encounters. That laser beam gonna make it all the way over here? Well, not in time, at least. Ooh, okay. I think we found the bonus NPC on every floor. So let's continue.
Father.
Hmm?
Feared watchdog Cerberus regards the princess with his 6 expectant eyes.
No! One of these days.
Father, I'm afraid the matter on Olympus is more dire than we thought. For Kronos reawakened Typhon, who is very, very large.
It's true.
And dead set on destroying the palace of Zeus.
Is this the first that Hades is hearing about Typhon?
Such a predictable and
From us, at
reckless
least.
action on the Titan's part. Although your Uncle Zeus may not be quite as spry as when he and that monster previously clashed.
You don't seem so surprised. How did you all defeat Typhon before? I've never fought something like him.
Nor should you fight something like him, daughter. Let Zeus clean up his mess. His thunderbolt proved quite effective in the past. Although you'd think that an embodiment of storms and rage would be immune.
Yeah, I mean, the Thunderbolt has helped, but it certainly does not get the job done by itself.
I'm not about to abandon our family to face this threat on their own.
Then you're in the wrong place. For if you think thwarting the Titan shall stop Typhon in turn, you're wrong. A monster such as that cannot be controlled. Go, see for yourself.
We have defeated him once or twice before. At least twice, I think. But, obviously that's not going to happen this time. We're going in the opposite direction. Let's see, restore 1% of the damage you deal until you reach the limit of up to 100 life. I mean, we do... what? We have a little bit of healing in between rooms. So... and we're currently... oh, we're not on full life. We'll get a little bit of healing walking into the next room. But... I mean, you'd like to see this primarily happening against Kronos. So, the fact that we might use that up all beforehand is a little unfortunate, and I think that's why we've, at times, chosen not to take it. Cast, launch a projectile that seeks foes. The binding circle forms where it hits. It basically gives us more range on our cast, which is kind of nice. Although it's a little trickier to aim, it does give it more damage as well. Dash strikes surrounding foes with a punishing sweep that inflicts scorn. I don't remember ever having seen this before. Scorn. Afflicted foes take plus 30% attack and special damage for 10 seconds. Ooh. I like that. Because it doesn't require that much effort to go out of your way to do this. You're probably dashing around anyway. And it deals damage, and that debuff, when we have a lot of attack and special damage, particularly attack damage, could be quite big. So, I think we take this. Also, not gonna lie, I just glanced over at the name quickly, and I totally... my brain processed that as Gyarados. So, we're taking the Gyarados boon.
Go. Fear not for me.
You honor me.
Maybe now? Nope. Wishful thinking. Alright, let us carry on.
This is the Titan's fault.
Oh, that dash is good. You know, when you aren't dashing into the traps, that is, at least. Combine the dash with our cast, and we have several ways that we can kind of just poke enemies. He can charge us like that. What? Several ways to relatively safely poke enemies, but oh my gosh, I just should not have ever got myself caught in that corner. That was a mistake. Who is this who has such range? Maybe keeping it simple with a range special was the key all along. Also, how much health does that guy have? Flutter Strike rarefied with this. Oh man, that's our attack boon. It is now 180% bonus damage. That's pretty sweet.
A couple chambers more.
Okay, so now this would be a mini boss. It would give us Hera, who we've not yet seen. I think we do want to skip that since that does pose a pretty significant risk. I think we've done one of those mini boss chambers on this floor, but otherwise we've tried to avoid them. We did take a fair bit of damage in that room, which is unfortunate. Oh, not these guys. Not the rat dudes. Ooh. Had enough of the rats. And whatever other nonsense you're up to. Oh. It's kind of hard to completely avoid taking damage. Just get rid of some of them, ideally. Oh my gosh. The little rats, they only deal a tiny bit of damage. So yeah, I think that was primarily the thing that hit us, which means we actually did not get hurt much in the process. And let's see what we have here.
What do we have in here?
Restore 10% life whenever you enter a location for 3 locations, and that's... I don't even know if there are 3... There are not 3 locations left. Actually, once you factor in the shop, I think there might be exactly 3. So that does work. Next well item with the duration will instead last for the entire game. We saw this before. So it would potentially... Well, I don't think we actually need that. Charge moves deal extra damage for 6 encounters. We're taking both of these things.
Should help.
So, oh, we also never used our reroll, for what it's worth. But I think we are going to go here, because, again, we're going to avoid the mini-boss. Oh, also, did we get a Zeus encounter that we could have gifted something to him for? Because we did see some Zeus. I kind of forgot about that. Might have been some instances where he popped up in ways where we couldn't have done that. But let's go here. Keep it simple whenever we can. Chip away at the enemies. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. If it's stupid and it works, it isn't stupid. And now it gets a little more complicated though. I forget, can the enemies can get hit by the traps, can they not? That guy's just chilling on top of the trap. But there's still another wave. Wow. This surprises me. There's a lot of enemies now. Would be nice to reduce that number a little bit. To simplify things. As I did not sign up for a bullet hell. Left. You. There we go. Okay. Tiny bit of damage, but we will heal that off. Ooh. Okay. A little bit of gold there. We have an interesting opportunity here. We can get a big palm, no mini-boss, or we can go to the super shop. We are at risk of taking some damage, although we do have 10% healing. after this room, so we can take some damage and still heal it off, I think we go for it. Potentially get a little more gold from the enemies we fight here as well.
I can access this old fountain chamber now.
It's a free room! It's just a fountain chamber.
A long-forgotten hidden refuge within Tartarus provides the Princess of the Dead some small reprieve, much as it did for her own brother in a bygone time.
These waters still run clear enough somehow.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
Seeds of the poppy.
We get that. We get
Subsistence
more
piece.
fish.
Victory. It's a jiffy.
We get healing that we technically don't need, but this was the primary reason why we came here. I was ready to fight some enemies just to get this. So this is 3 upgrades. So we can get significantly more damage on the special, despite being just common rarity. That does start to get it into decent territory. Bolt damage from you, or the... what is this? The magic restoration gets better. Honestly, I don't know. I legitimately do not know how significant 10 magic per second is in terms of, like, is that enough that we just completely do not need to worry about magic at all anymore? Or is it significant getting what is functionally a 40% upgrade on that? I feel like we take this. It's more of a sure thing that that's going to give us some value. It may be that much magic restoration just doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, now if we go here, I think we are then out of the healing. So I think it's gonna... does it apply here even though we're on full health? I think it still does. So that means if we do take damage here, and it's a trial of the gods, so we likely will, then that means we're gonna have that damage in the final fight unless we get some healing from the super shop. But again, it's not a mini boss, so usually the reason why I'm so reluctant to take on additional rooms on this floor is because of the mini bosses, and seeing all these rooms that are not mini bosses does embolden me a bit. We should start by choosing which god or goddess we're looking for. I'm also just eyeing for bonus resources, which I'm not seeing any of here. Okay, so is there a reason why we prefer one over the other? I don't remember what either of their things are that they do when they get mad. I think we could see... we've already seen duo with Zeus and Demeter. We could see duo with Aphrodite and either Zeus or Demeter, I think. Or even Legend. I think there's more to gain from Aphrodite.
Why, thank you.
Okay, granted, we don't get that, although we do have the re-offer option. It's a huge amount of damage on the special, but I still think we want to keep the one we have, because it does provide us with the freeze and the relatively easy backstab. I do like this. If this were higher rarity, I would definitely take it. I think we might go for the re-offer here, though. Unless we want to save it for Zeus, but let's try it.
Let's do it.
Switch out the cast? No, don't want to do that. I was bad-mouthing this boon earlier, although it might make sense to take it here, because, again, it's not amazing, the stuff we're seeing. We are currently on full health, so it is giving us 14% damage, but still. Heart throb when we spend magic. I guess we'll take this. It does do a blast. We'll take this. Okay, Zeus will be mad.
The Witch of the Crossroads may have taught you how to fight, but where are your manners?
I'm sorry, Zeus.
Lord Uncle, I meant no offense.
I meant no offense, I swear.
I need to calm him down. Cole, take you.
Ooh, careful. Careful of Zeus. Careful of the rats. I think Zeus, I'm assuming, deals significantly more damage than the rats do. If you have to pick one, pick the rats. I don't know if there's going to be another wave, because I feel like this was actually a very small wave. Oh yeah, there are more enemies now. There are indeed more enemies now. Ooh, I stepped right into that thing that was going to freeze me. I'm actually surprised that it did not freeze me. Ooh, careful. Extra speed. Useful there. Yeah, you know, I was kind of hoping this was going to be a quick and easy encounter, or at least to the extent that that can be the case with a Trial of the Gods. When this is perhaps turning out to be anything but that. And again, as I was saying, hit him with the freeze, drop a cast down there, and it's possible to poke the enemies. It's just a little hard to play it slow and steady when you do fairly regularly have Zeus doing this. There we go. Okay.
Showed them, Tula.
And ultimately, we only took 3 damage, which we are still going to heal off. So we should be fine. It's just 2 bonus booms.
I'd rather not prolong such an unnecessary feud when we have real foes to face.
Indeed. Okay. It's a different form of magic restoration. Each encounter in either font appears in an area restores all magic when used. I would prefer the form we have, even if this is higher rarity. Lightning bolt effects may strike 2 times. We do have that on the duo boon. The potential for that to strike twice. It's only a 15% chance, but I do think that's probably still our best option. Or we can use our 1 remaining reroll. I think this is still decent, though. We are expecting to find a super shop after this. Or finally, Selene! It's another room that we don't have to go into, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I hope that it still means we can go to a super shop after this, because at this point it feels like we've done so many of these bonus rooms that I feel like we're going to get a quote-unquote free boon at the end. It isn't going to cost us anything, but we're going to miss out on having the opportunity to cash in a bazillion gold. Which at this point is quite valuable to us, because we do have a whole lot of that gold. Yes, I do see crafting resource on the ground there. I am tempted to pick it up, but I will be patient. I may have dashed in time. There's still another wave. Careful. Yeah, those money bags can deal crazy damage. Ooh, careful. If they lock onto you. Even though technically I think they were the only enemies here that were not the theoretical superpowered versions. They're just the base versions. Ooh, I'm not even sure what I dashed into there, to be honest with you. There we go. Ultimately only took 2 damage, somehow. Here is the upgrade, the long-awaited Selene upgrade. And okay, it does save the amount of stuff we got from the Moonbeam. So that's why this was so critical. We invested in using the Moonbeam for a run, for a floor, and we did not get to reap the benefits from that yet. And we weren't guaranteed to see Selene in the shop either. So now we definitely want to make sure we can get up to here, and that should be very feasible. We have 10 total now. It's practically enough to get everything. After you use the hex, get extra damage? Sure, I'll take that. So that's the key one. Does it change the amount of magic we need? Yes, it does. Okay. But now with 6 remaining, we should be able to get up here to deal damage around us. So let's do that too. And the automatic charging can help mitigate the extra cost to a certain extent. We have 2 left, and there are 3 points, so we need to skip one of them. Extra damage as it powers up. The armor only lasts for the duration of the effect. I think the idea here is basically so that while you are in the act of charging, using the animation to deal damage with the hex, you are vulnerable. You're standing still. And so it's a way to mitigate the hits, the damage from the hits that you would be taking during that phase. However, because we have this and we are now allowed to move, even when we're activating it, the armor is less significant. Okay, well both of these are. And then it goes away as soon as the hex is over. It doesn't last for the full room. Oh, there's this too. Okay, well that's also armor. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna take this. We'll take one of the armor ones. We probably already had one that we had to take before. This. Very nice. And I did not even notice this before. This is, if we don't take damage, then we get this, right? If I remember correctly, this is not exactly the easiest floor to make that happen. If they're if they're enemies that we can just stagger / freeze repeatedly with our ranged special, then we might still be able to make it happen. But otherwise, this is, I don't know, we might draw the line there.
And now for the Titan.
And finally, actually take on Kronos. This looks like a health bar over here. You see that? That's weird. Okay, I think we're gonna skip out on that. If this were on a lower floor, I would say let's give it a go, but we've already done all these optional things here. And I feel like there's a high chance that we mess that up.
Made it through.
Okay, so we would have had healing, but instead we can...
Lord Charon?
Let's see. I think we're gonna pass on you, because this is the one that we got a whole bunch of from the Chaos Trials, right? I forget if that's the Chaos Trials one, or if that's the one from defeating specific enemies with... This is Nightmare. Wait. Shadow... Where's the one we got from the Chaos Trial? Oh, it's... No, this is the one from the Chaos Trial. Stardust is the one we have a lot of. We don't have much Nightmare. This comes from activating Fear and then defeating the specified boss. So it would be nice to get a little bit more of that, but it is exorbitantly expensive. We could afford it, but I probably would still prefer to go all in on all of these boons. We'd have a little bit of cash remaining. Could do the healing that we don't need. Although it might give us a Charon card in the process. It probably would, to be honest. Okay, let's do... Oh, we can't gift here, right? Okay. Let's do... you first, I think? This is probably the best one for us, which I think means we want to... I don't know. I don't know, man. There is the duo. This is what I was hoping for. You deal more damage the more life you have. Bonus damage per 50 life. We have 200 life total. So, oh! I mean, compare that to... It's basically a better version of... Did we end up taking it? The one that gives us the bonus damage based on how much health we have? It's just a better version of that. Oh! You could make a strong case that this is actually better, to be honest with you, especially given how we have the duo boon that deals damage when enemies are frozen. So that is really tempting. Really tempting. I feel like we still have to do this, but you want to be really particular about it. You could make the case that other one was actually better. Okay. And this. Hold cast aim where the binding circle appears, so it changes, gives us potential range on the cast, which may or may not be. It is generally useful. It's just potentially a little bit longer to do that, which in a boss encounter can be tricky at times. Although it also means you can do it even when you're far away doing other things, which can be helpful. Wait, after you take damage, foe struck by lightning, and again 50% of the time. That would be kind of nice against a boss, where that could add up a bit. Whenever you use magic, random surrounding foe struck by lightning, that also could add up over time. Up to 3 times. This is higher rare. I mean, you could do the math here. That's... But it's always struck the first time. So we would have to use magic 5 times to equate getting hit once. And it might be even better than that when we get hit, if it repeats. So I think we probably do take... let's do this. Yes, just so that we can... I'm thinking of, you know, like the clock phase when we're running away from Kronos, and there are other times when we're basically stuck in a given spot, and we can potentially still damage him if we have the better range on the cast. And this, we passed up on Poseidon several times. Okay, you know, if we had taken him first and taken this, that might have been useful. Wait, what is this? Hits foes with a powerful splash as they start to strike. But I'm just confused as to when this happens. Is this when they attack us? And we aren't really using charged cast. We're using charged attack, primarily, and spamming the base special. That is a lot of power, though. If I had realized this was a possibility, obviously, in hindsight, this could have been great. Oh, we could re-roll if we really wanted to. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted. We do have a re-roll. Let's try it.
Sure, why not?
Because this could be really good. Yeah, let's take this. Start of encounter attacks and specials are stronger, way stronger for 10 seconds. We need to be aggressive at the beginning, but if we are, we can get crazy value from that. We did get a Charon card in the process as well. Okay. So, it has been a while since we last fought Charon. Charon? No, Kronos. Hey, Charon. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean anything by it. But I think we did get a lot stronger. Just consider how many bonus rooms we took on this floor, certainly relative to what we tend to do here. I hope that made a big difference. Didn't cost us anything in terms of how much health we have going in or death defiances, so that's a good sign as well. So, think otherwise mechanically, need to remember, particularly the clock phase in the second round of the fight, you basically need to go to the part that lights up. And then in the first phase, once he falls below 50% health, he starts to do double or sometimes even triple combos. I think those are the key things to remember there. Alright, so let's hop in. And remember, be aggressive at the beginning because we have that bonus damage. What are these guys? I don't recognize these guys. We're going to be fighting alongside them in the ads.
Tell me something before I turn you back to dust again. If Typhon destroys Mount Olympus as you so desire, where do you expect he'll go from there? Back to sleep?
Because yeah, that is a key question I have had is, I mean, sure, Kronos siding with Typhon helps cause general destruction on Olympus, but I mean, I guess he helps kill, or at least come as close as you can to killing an immortal being in the gods and goddesses on Olympus. But then what happens after that? Because you're not controlling this Typhon, I don't think.
Oh, that is none of my concern. Ours is a wide world, and deep. Typhon shall have free reign to go where he pleases. Perhaps he shall rule over the seas in Poseidon's stead.
Ah, okay. The plan is that there is no plan.
Liar. You plan to double-cross him.
Probably.
Send him roaring back to the abyss after your use for him is ended. Not even you are fool enough to disregard him as a threat.
Yeah, it's kind of a dangerous assumption. Just say, Typhon will be fine doing his own thing. He's not going to cause any trouble.
The future shall be well in hand, that I can assure you, granddaughter. Best focus on the present and the many hardships we endure.
Okay. Okay, remember, go in aggressive. I'm going to try to do the charged attack as soon as possible. No, not on him. What? I know that led to us taking a fair bit of damage, but I'm hoping that was worthwhile. Mere moonbeams, he says. Still got hit by it. Oh, okay. Admittedly, I was zoning out on that one. In part because I did not remember what these guys do. Also remember, we debuff enemies by doing this. Is he doing double moves now? He might be. That was close. It's one. So I thought it was only once he reaches half health, which he's not quite done yet. Okay, this is theoretically a very good opportunity to do this. Now he's basically at half health, so I think, or he's very close to that threshold. Is that gonna be a double? It might be just. Oh, okay. That's the downside of the cast that you have to aim. Is sometimes like that you just miss a little bit. now this is him reaching half health. Okay, so now he's gonna do at least double attacks, although that technically is kind of its own category. So that's 1, that's 2, he can do 3. Yeah, that's 3. Timing on that. That down as well. Ooh. Ooh, I did not appreciate you running away like that. I mean, technically, if we go slow and steady... Oh, he brought the coin bags? I do not like that. As I was saying before, those can do crazy damage. If he does go slowly, then it does give an opportunity to just charge up our Hex, which is very nice. Waiting for the second, and now nothing. Okay. Unbelievable. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This one again, that's fine. So there we go, that's first phase down. No Death Defiances, that's key. Okay, but now we know he's gonna do this. Can we damage him with that? Yes, we can damage him. That is very convenient. That is the main reason. Okay, this is the skill that I always mess up. I don't understand what you're supposed to do with this. Okay, that freezes me if I go in that. Then he hits me with that. 1. See, I don't remember how this works. Okay. This is not great. Also, I see our hexes like grayed out. I don't know what the reason for that is. I do remember those hands of the clock hurt a ton. So you really don't want those to, again, one of those cases where if you can choose what to get hit by, that is not the thing to choose. Hold on. Oh, that hit. I don't think it did. And again, don't really know how this works, but he's definitely clobbered me with it before. Is this Hex actually ready? I legitimately do not know. But I feel like I should try. It is ready. Okay, I should have done that a while ago. Uh-oh. Okay, but it is really useful to at least have some way to poke him during that phase. Ooh, that's really nasty. I don't like that.
Infuriating now.
Ooh, okay. That was interesting. Do these guys... Uh-oh. Just get rid of you. Do they respawn? Because it feels like they respawn. Uh-oh. There we are. The damage is starting to add up quite a bit. It's mostly just me poking him with the cast, to be honest. Ooh. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That has never happened before, that combination. We were low on health, so we were probably going to have to use the Death Defiance pretty soon anyway. Also, I just chose to phase take him, which probably was not the right decision. That wasn't close enough either. Dodge out of this, I think. Dodge out of that, I think. Get hit by that twice because I dashed back into it. Here. That kind of stinks because I did get frozen, but at least didn't get the ultimate punishment for that. Okay, so yes, he does do triple moves now. Ah! Can I dodge through it? No, I cannot dodge through that. There. And we do that. poke him for little bits of damage when you can. Okay, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do for this. Dodge that. Dodge that. Oh, except he was doing things too. Fair enough. Sneak in for that. Then get here and do this too. Good timing for that. Okay, don't... Oh, okay, there's not a lot I could do there. Oh, kind of... Oh, I chose to get by that instead of... Ooh, that was close. He's low. He's very low. I know that means he was about to do the one where he creates the circles around him, but we got him. Used a lot of Death Defiances, but we got him.
I am undone, and I shall be back in the blink of an eye.
Got a little messy there. That probably was the longest Phase 2 Chronos fight we've ever done. And there were, I think, at least 1 or 2 types of attacks that we had never seen before. So I feel like, in some ways, you know, this was not our most overpowered build we've ever had, but it was probably the most difficult, for that reason perhaps, one of the most difficult Phase 2 Chronos fights we've had, because we had to weather the storm quite a bit there.
The time cannot be stopped.
But this time it can. Okay. So maybe all those extra boons we picked up from those optional rooms on the final floor did end up paying off for us. To get more of that, the Z Sand or whatever it's called.
Such power.
Okay. Anything else of note in here? I don't think so. So I think we're good to go.
Time itself is every mortal's enemy, and enemy to some immortals too. So let us all be thankful that the Princess of the Dead has really throttled him again.
Return to Shadow now.
Time cannot be stopped? Question mark? Alright, we have defeated Kronos once again, but he is not gone forever. Of course, this is not the first time we've defeated him, but as we were saying previously, the game is not fully done. Of course, it's still in early access, and so we expect, or in the future, there to be something more natural to happen after defeating him, where the game sort of progresses meaningfully rather than this sort of arbitrary, oh, you reached the end, and now we have nothing for you to do, so therefore you must die, and go back. So, that is still the case here. We are still waiting for that. But it is, we made a lot of progress on that run. We picked up a ton of resources, the amount of fish we got. Good that we were able to bounce back from what was an unsuccessful run last time on the surface. As I said, I do feel like it is still significantly easier going down than it is going up. Yes, some of that has to do with experience, so we've done more runs going down, but it still seems like even with that being considered, it's still somewhat significantly easier.
Result that time, wouldn't you say?
Okay. Let us brood.
Vengeance for my family.
And get some vengeance for our family. We saw all of the extra NPCs. We theoretically gained one familiar and made progress toward gaining another.
You know, it's kind of spooky how you never come in through the front flap anymore. Ever think of taking up haunting yourself?
Oh yes. I figure if none of this works out, a lot of us can wander the earth, striking fear into the hearts of any mortals who dare look upon us.
Now we're talking.
Okay. And I think we finished a prophecy. I don't remember what it was from, but I remember seeing something check off. Oh, it was from the companions. Daughter of the God of the Dead shall form a bond with several animal familiars. It's worth 150 bones.
Companions. True?
True. They can. Covered doors, lost memories. Yeah, we're working toward that. Daughter of the God of the Dead shall some evening compel one of her closest shade companions to remember that which she once chose to forget. That does seem like that's going to require that we go up, because it has something to do with Prometheus. So I think we need to encounter him to progress that further, and or reach some other critical threshold.
Kronos fell to you once more. That much I heard. It's an impressive feat, although you mean to bring him death, yet he is deathless. This seems to be a paradox.
Yeah, you know, fighting immortals kind of goes like that sometimes.
That's right. Mortal death is not the end, but mortals often think it is. When we say death to Kronos, we mean it in that absolute way, as impossible as it may seem.
Yeah, but how exactly do we make that absolute way happen?
So then, to vanquish him must be at least a step toward that end. What shall become of everything if you succeed and time is truly killed? A world without time.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Maybe we should think that one over.
A world without ruin and decay. Our world existed before time and can exist without.
Did it though? Did it though? Are we sure it existed before time?
Another paradox, yet one that must be true.
Oh, what do we have here? We have some rubbish. These are little bullet shells. Shotgun shells. And it, at least initially, made a little clinging sound when we stepped on them. I'm not sure if it does anymore. Wait. There. Not sure if you can hear that. It's not happening every time, but every once in a while it does happen, and that is very interesting. Attention to detail there. There. Might be more obvious since there are a bunch more here.
Yeah? And just what do you think you're gonna do about it there, Nemi? Can't just have it out with me in the middle of your little crossroads.
I wouldn't put it past Nemesis to do just that.
Can't do anything about it here, but might run into you out there, snooping around, and then you won't get any special treatment. Just another target.
I mean, if you want to help us fight Eris, I wouldn't say no. Then again, we have only ever seen Nemesis in the underworld, not on the surface. So that would be a first, if that were to happen.
Nemesis, how could you be so cruel? You're my sister. We don't have to fight. And besides, what makes you think you'd ever catch me? You're too slow.
Oh, there's fighting words.
We'll see.
You'll see.
Honestly, I'm surprised Nemesis did not take more issue with that statement. No one over here. No Artemis.
Who dares?
Oh? I mean, yes, you can show up here to help us decorate in this location. Then again, I did not remember you making that kind of entrance before. Oh, there is Artemis.
Hail, sister.
I'm sorry, I spoke too soon, Artemis.
Good, there you are. I'm late getting back, but couldn't bring myself to leave before you were up and about again. How are you feeling?
Pretty good after the last one.
Considering the Titan of Time almost sliced me in two last night with a scythe twice my size that cuts to the air itself, I could be worse. Thank you for waiting up for me.
Of course. I like what you've done to this place. It's like a proper war camp now.
I mean, we haven't really
With the
decorated
taverna,
anything.
hot springs.
Oh, that is true.
More often. Shine on without me for now.
Shine on yourself.
Okay. Oh, and away she goes. We have, that is one of the things that we have done very little of. Going to the fishing pier, the baths, the bar, all that stuff. So that's something we may want to put a little more of a point of emphasis on going forward.
This task, why does it fall solely to me, headmistress? Because Nemesis, she...
Yeah, she's, you know, a little bitter about it. Understatement of the century.
She is a burden.
Ouch!
Sworn to Nyx that I would watch over her children. I'd have cast her out for insubordination long ago.
Glad we're not the only one who feels that way.
She's frustrated you haven't given her a chance. Her strength far surpasses mine, and she's trained at least as hard. I've seen it.
I mean, that's very forgiving. Very kind words from Malinui. A little surprised she is that generous with that description of Nemesis.
Why defend her thus, Malinui? Her attitude speaks far louder than she. I shall entrust nothing of import to one such as that.
I scoff at thee.
I know.
Oh. Oh! Several new things here. Oh, we do need Fate Fabric for... Oh, this was the one that allows us to redo the Chaos Trials, and we were saying it'd be nice, but it's not critically important. And we did pick up one fabric, I think, in the previous run, but we could potentially purchase one from the Wretched Broker if we really wanted to, or just wait until we get another one organically. We also need it for this. Enhance Grave Thirst to also unearth gemstones whenever you vanquish guardians. Okay. I mean, that's the kind of thing that... I mean, the gemstones... mostly used to gain prestige from the Wretched Broker. Okay, so I think that means that ultimately translates to decorations. And I should double check that all those decorations are purely cosmetic, because there's a chance that some of them actually have a functional purpose. Although, what with the baths and the fishing pier and the tavern all kind of having their own separate category, I feel like that may not be the case. Well, where I'm going with that is, I'm not sure how meaningful from a pure gameplay standpoint the gemstones are, but it would be nice to start accumulating some of those. What do we have here? Bounties of the Infinite Abyss. Calls locations in Tartarus or the Summit to sometimes contain a gift of night. An offering of some of these things, which can be claimed if enough fear is in the air. Huh. It says this is at the Summit in Tartarus, so the final floor in either direction, but I don't think we've seen anything like this on any of the previous floors. I think this is entirely new. And I don't know how high that fear threshold would be, but that's an intriguing idea. And the rock and the adamant... Oh, the adamant is from Olympus, or possibly... I think Olympus. So that is kind of rare. I want to be a little cautious about using that. And that S-Reed is from the Summit, so that is very rare. I want to be careful about this. Improve gathering from soil plots so that you harvest all flourished soil plots at once? Huh? Green Hand of Gaia? Aptly named, but is it me, or is this just the slightest of conveniences? So we don't have to manually walk over to harvest soil plots, except it costs one of the most valuable resources in the game to get this? That just doesn't seem to add up for me. Greater Sowing of Gardens. Gain the ability to plant multiples of the same type of seed in all available soil plots at once. Okay. Now this one, the olives, that is from Olympus. Not the Summit, but Olympus. So that is kind of rare. And poppies, I think, are actually kind of rare as well. So, we're still waiting on this. We do have more Z-Sand to work with. But, so these kind of feel like they're just minor things that are very expensive. And if we had a whole bunch of those resources, I'd say, alright, you know, fair enough. We've saved up enough of them. We can feel okay about using some. But there are other things, I think, that are more meaningful that we'd like to spend that stuff on. So then this is maybe the big question. Let's give this one a shot. This feels like it has more potential value.
Shades of the dead, reagents in the pot. Heed now my plea. Become what I have sought. So mote it be.
Oh. Jinx. Okay.
What can we do?
Oh, is there anything new on this side? It's still at the exclamation point. It was a little surprising to me. No? Okay. I mean, we are capable of crafting these things. I just am hesitant to do so. Let's see. Oh! We have a delivery.
Right on time.
Oh! Okay. Apparently, we predicted that we might need some fabric. And so now it is much more reasonable for us to do this. The flux is something you get from Chaos, so that it is rare as well, although I think it's quite unusual for there to be recipes that require it. That's entropy, not flux there. I don't think, yeah, we've not gotten any of that. I don't even know if it's possible to get it at this point in the game. So okay, I'm a little reluctant to spend flux here, but I think we can still go for that.
If time
Not that
be
it's
stopped, shall see. If spill my blood I must, so mote it be.
Everything must end, and so mote it be.
So mote it be.
There's my point. But yeah, not that that was really an urgent need, because, you know, that had to do with Chaos Trials. We're probably not about to go back to the Chaos Trials anytime in the immediate future. Let's see, we have 5 Charon cards. So, Moondust is for upgrading Arcana. We've purchased a bunch of Moondust, and we still have some Moondust now. So I feel like that might be overkill. If maybe we get one more of these, and at this point I feel like
Should be here soon enough.
that may very well be all the Moondust will ever need for crafting stuff, and then we can focus on other things after that, although those other things are resources that we might be doing pretty well on as well.
You've gone at this for 50 nights at least, Goddess.
Oh,
Is there occasion yet to
he's
give
keeping
yourself
track.
a bit of a reprieve? You're putting yourself through a lot, is all.
Are you saying you want to go get a drink, Odysseus? Is that what you're saying?
I've had reprieve along the way, thank you. The springs, the garden, the taverna.
I mean, we barely
Even
use those
just
things.
conversing like this. It's not as though I'm pushing myself in every waking moment.
Aye, we never can push ourselves as hard as possible for as long as we'd like. But you've come a long way, and in the off chance you're not keeping track, I am.
Okay, Odysseus.
Good. And I'll go farther still.
It does say how many nights you've done, how many runs you've had when you first load in, so that didn't come as that much of a surprise. But the fact that he's keeping track does make me wonder. Oh, he makes that comment, and yet he is not interested in any of this stuff. It may be that we need to start giving people a second and third nectar before they're interested in doing these other sorts of activities. So it may actually be that nectar is the bottleneck.
2 further victories.
Can't clean up after Eris fast enough, Your Grace, from Thessaly. Oh, this isn't done yet. Wow. Despite us having a full-length run, one that we extended longer than it needed to go, it still wasn't long enough. Unless that was a mystery seed in one of those recipes that we just got. Automatically plant stuff, because it seems like that may have kind of sort of been the case.
Guy's bounty.
We are picking up mystery seeds when we harvest these things, or some other kinds of seeds. We got some sort of bonus stuff from doing that, which probably had something to do with the recipe that we just got, although I feel like I might need to go back to read the fine print. So that's not how I thought that was going to play out. Or did we even make that purchase? I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll plant the mystery seeds. We'll plant poppy seeds, because those are fairly rare. Wheat, a little less so. Okay. Anything on the Hypnos side of things? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, but theoretically there may be a new...
You are prepared, young one.
Oh, what?
Commander, what is that?
I was about to say there might be a new companion, a new familiar, somewhere over here, but that's not what this is.
Converse.
Indeed.
Your myriad accomplishments thus far are nothing in comparison to that which you now stand to gain, young one. Eternal glory can be yours if you but prove your worth.
Ah, okay.
The patterns on that drapery. The secret gifts of the veil, bestowed on Knight's most dedicated servants. Commander, what are they doing here? Shades are never to look upon them.
Well, let's just say the rules have lately changed. Those gifts, as you refer to them, are yours to earn, provided you can do the stuff the Oath of the Unseen would ask of you, which, as you probably surmised, shall be no simple feat.
Wait, Oath of the Unseen is a phrase we've heard many times before, but I forget what specifically that refers to.
Perhaps a test merely of greed and arrogance. To overextend with the Oath may put my task in jeopardy.
Like, is that the trials? The Chaos Trials? If so, then we've done a whole bunch of them. Or is that something else, like prophecy related?
Come on, don't be such a baby.
Come on, take on the challenges. Don't be a baby.
We meet again, and welcome.
Oh, he did not seem happy about that. Peek.
I mustn't look.
I mustn't.
Messing with that thing.
Oh, I can kind of see through it though. All right, but the main thing I was looking for was this. We now have the bird pal.
A growing pack of ever-faithful animal familiars now stand ready to follow the Princess of the Dead into the depths, or wheresoever her fateful task shall take her next.
Also, just thinking of familiars reminded me that we got a bunch of fish in the previous run that we should cash in.
My little protectors.
Because it was very helpful having Tula on that run to do all the fish encounters for us. And we did use a lot of Death Defiances, not all of them though. But from that standpoint, Tula might have one of the best abilities there. Krynos, what, gave us a little bit of extra life and theoretically blocked projectiles, although it was hard to see to what extent that was ever really happening. We can sell...
Could use the bones.
all these. Oh, we got a couple of those, I remember that. Yeah, none of them worth that much, and I suspect that may be because they were all 1-star versions of those fish. We could potentially purchase Nightmare, which is kind of hard to get. Also, I did not notice the cat here before. You see that? The Wretched Broker has a cat as well. Alright, I don't think we have a desperate need for purchasing any of those materials right now, so we can wait off a little bit. Okay. I am curious to see what your deal is. Oh, we can pet you?
Good bird.
Okay, but what is your deal?
Come, little one, let's go.
And we see. Okay, so Rock, I already forget how we pronounce it. Is it Rocky or Reiki? Occasionally pecks foes for 5 damage, which is not that much. I mean, Tula can also attack, although we don't use it or go out of our way to use it very often, but I think Tula does deal more damage than that. But it leaves them marked, which means they have a 15% chance to take a critical hit for 1 hit. That mark lasts for 6 seconds, so very similar to one of the boons from Artemis. So, also, bonus innate critical chance. You have just a flat 1% chance to crit all the time. Very small chance, but it can potentially happen. Even on non-marked enemies, I guess. But then your resource... Oh, it gives a bonus chance of that resource showing up. I don't think it said that before. That might be completely new. Yeah, because that says bonus resource.
It shall be my honor.
And it certainly seemed like we had bonus fish on that encounter, so maybe that wasn't so much of a coincidence after all. But your stuff, your resource is the mining stuff. Except, makes them more likely and collects from them on command. See, that the nice thing, though, about Krynos and Tula, from a resources standpoint, is that in the fish, for both fishing and for the shades, there's a full-blown mini-game that you need to do, and you may either get no resources at all, or you might only get a fraction of the resources depending on how you do at that mini-game. So the fact that they automatically complete it for you is very nice. Now, we had some questions in the previous run as to whether Tula was guaranteed to, or had a very low chance of giving you a higher rarity, more rewarding result from that mini-game. So maybe it's still best to do it yourself and do it well, and that way you get the most reward out of it. But the mining doesn't have any mini-game. There's no variance at all to how much it gives you. So there isn't, like, this... The collects resources from the outcroppings on command doesn't really do anything, because you could already do that. So that's, I don't know if that's a big enough reason not to take him. I still feel like Tula
With me, Tula.
has pretty much across the board the things that I like most. Both the offensive stuff, I mean, maybe the crit damage on the bird would be better, but and maybe it's more consistent than this, because Tula only does it if you activate her, which I'm rarely doing, which I'm rarely going out of my way to do, but the Death Defiance is just so huge, potentially. And the resource collection, as I said, is also nice as well. But now we theoretically can go back to do Chaos Trials, and we have also seen a bit of the new Rivals mechanic, giving us that more difficult alternate version of the Hecate fight, which was very interesting, and theoretically, there is something like that for all of the bosses, so very curious to check that out, but I do think this is the right time to wrap things up here. Fortunately, we had a successful run this go-round. Hopefully, we'll see more of that next time round. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.